Imagine running an agency where the work just happens without you having to be involved. AI writes emails to cold prospects, it's sourced on its own with super personalized ad audits it created. New clients get onboarded before you even have a chance to notify the team that you closed a new client. Ad account decisions are guided by an AI that has complete access to every client ad account and knows about every conversation that has ever happened in the agency. I have transitioned my own agency to this type of an AI-enabled agency over the past 3 months, and it has allowed me to step back from the mundane day-to-day tasks and has increased our revenue per head by over 30% because we can now manage more clients with fewer employees, all thanks to stacking AI on every part of the agency instead of scaling headcount the way most agencies do. In this video, I'll be breaking down all 9 systems I've implemented over the past 3 months, 3 for the acquisition, 1 for onboarding, 4 for service delivery, and 1 for internal operations. They're all built on Claude, connected to apps you probably already use. So let's start with the acquisition, aka getting new clients for your agency. If you're anything like me, when I started my agency, you probably still run your acquisition like it's 2022. You manually scrape leads and either blast 1,000 emails a day, or you spend 4 hours a day writing personalized emails and recording looms. Then when you actually end up booking a call, you wing it every single time based on what feels right. Sometimes you do a demo call, sometimes you drop the price on the first call, sometimes you book follow-up calls, sometimes you don't, all with no real system behind it. I know the grind because I did the same for the longest time, but I've developed a way to completely rebuild the front-end acquisition for your agency with 3 AI systems. The kicker is that these both increase your close rate and save you time. System number 1 is the cold outreach engine. The AI first scrapes prospects from Google Maps, industry directories, niche search terms, anywhere your prospect hangs out online, and it then sorts the leads it finds into 2 buckets. Bucket number 1 are businesses that don't have any ads running yet, and bucket number 2 are businesses that do. For the businesses that don't have any ads running, the AI scrapes their product page, their brand colors, their fonts. It finds their biggest product and their biggest product pain points and creates 3 personalized ads with GPT image 2. It then automatically sends those out to the businesses with an email reading something like, here's what your first ads could look like, created for you for free in 20 minutes. For the businesses that do have ads running, the AI runs a slightly different play. So it pulls their ad library, it scrapes their website looking for conversion optimization, and it pulls reviews from their website. It then builds a custom free ad audit formatted in a nice PDF that it as well sends to the business saying something like, I spent 15 minutes auditing your ads. Here is what I found. The beauty is that both of these are value-first approaches that give actual value before asking for anything in return. If you set this up correctly, you can easily run over 100 personalized outreaches per day with no human involvement, instead of you or an SDR capping out at about 30 a day, working 4 to 5 hours on it. When someone is interested in booking a call with you, your goal is to then get them on a discovery call where you get to know the prospect and you sell them on a free in-depth audit of their ad account or a free in-depth personalized strategy based on if they're running ads or not. This is basically an extension and a more detailed version of the ad mockups or the ad account audit that made them book the call with you to begin with. And this is where the second system kicks in, the AI sales audit agent. At this point, you should already have access to their actual ad account to do the audit. And then again, we feed it to the AI to do the audit for us. So this time it should dive deeper, much deeper into the actual performance of the specific creatives and the media buying structure they use. How do they test ads? Which angles perform the best? Which angles haven't been tested yet that open a completely new market? We have done this audit process for over 2 years now to close clients, but the difference now is that it takes me 30 minutes of reviewing what the AI gives me versus 4 to 5 hours of actually making it like I did previously when I was doing it myself. And the result is usually more thorough and more valuable than when I was doing it on my own. The last step of the sales process is the close call. You've got them on a call, you got access to the ad account to audit their ads, you sent them the audit, and now it's time to actually close them. We use a personalized pitch deck for this, which, you guessed it, is also created using AI. This one is a gem and moved our close rate more than anything else, so listen up. We have a separate sales Claude agent that we feed the transcripts from every single call we've had with every client and every email that's ever been sent between us, and this makes it so that Claude knows about every single word the prospect has ever said. With all of this context, Claude is able to create super personalized pitch deck that answers all of the objections the prospect is likely to bring up on the close call, and it ties it all back to your actual offer. It even reframes tiny hesitations the prospect showed on the first couple of calls in a way that makes the offer sound like a no-brainer. They feel like what you're offering them is perfect for them because we've made it perfect for them. Okay, you close the client, now we have to onboard them. Let's, for the sake of the example, say you closed a skincare brand that does 500K a year and they want to scale to 2 million a year. Your immediate instinct after closing the client is to dive into all the preliminary research, so looking at competitors, scraping reviews, finding the biggest pain points to target, and so on. The only problem with that is that we have found that clients are more likely to stay with you and consider the onboarding process a success if you launch your first ads within a week of signing them, which is not happening if you're spending the first 5 days doing market research. For that, we have developed an onboarding market research Claude agent that scrapes everything from competitor reviews to your client's website to Reddit and puts together an insanely detailed market research doc in a few hours. It explains exactly who the customer personas are, their top pain points by frequency, and which specific angles to use in the ads. So then when we onboard a new client at my agency, we begin managing the ad account the same day we sign them, and we have the first new creatives live in the account within only 5 days. After a successful onboarding, we have to keep the momentum going with the ongoing service delivery. So for that, we have 4 AI systems running on the service delivery part of the agency, and together they handle most of the agency's boring and monotonous tasks. The first service delivery system is a creative briefing agent. Ask any solid agency how they do the creative development, and none of them are creating new creatives off the top of their head. They all have proper briefs for every single creative the agency produces. The brief is simply a document that explains exactly what the static or video should look like, what the video cuts should be, or what the exact text on the static should be. Manually, this easily takes like 30 minutes per brief to develop, if done properly, of course. And across 20 clients, that takes like 3 full working days every single week. Our Claude does it completely for us. So it pulls context from 4 sources. Number 1 is the onboarding research document we created with the previous system. Then we have a library of best performing briefs for inspo. We also give it the brand's style guidelines, and lastly, the live ad account performance so that it can see what's actually working right now. Based on all of this data, it then decides what it believes will work the best for that specific client right now and writes out a brief for it that is sent to your graphic designer or video editor to actually make it a reality. It won't be 100% ready just with AI, but it gets 80% of the job done, and the creative strategist's job is then to just review it and tweak it until it's ready to send. The second service delivery system is the process we use to generate the images we use in the static ads. So if you produce a lot of statics, you will find that you quickly burn through all of the images that the client already has in their creative library, and your options then are to either reuse what you have, ask the client to record more content, or generate the exact type of images you need with AI. The beauty with AI is that you can create images that perfectly match the briefs you got from the creative briefing agent. If the skincare brand from earlier needs a static showing their lotion in the middle of a forest, for example, a real shoot would easily cost you $500 to do. GPT Images 2 can generate it in a few minutes. The key here is to prompt the AI correctly to get realistic looking images that 95% of people can't really tell are AI. If you want the exact prompt we use, you can just DM me on Instagram and I'll shoot it over. Here are the actual numbers though. Before implementing this AI image generation process, we were producing around 20 to 30 statics per week total across the entire agency. Now we produce 150 a week with the same team, and we have a higher winner hit rate. But the creative development process is of course only the first part of delivering the service. The second part is managing the ad accounts effectively, and for that we've created what I call a media buying copilot. It's a Claude agent that has complete access to all of our client ad accounts and sends us daily, weekly, and monthly reports in Slack. It does an in-depth analysis of the numbers in the account and tells us what creatives work, what don't, what to scale, ideas for new concepts to test, basically anything we need to manage the account without having to deep dive into the numbers ourselves. But it's critical that it doesn't actually do any changes in the account. Meta and Google constantly ban ad accounts for programmatic changes, so use it as a co-pilot that tells you the direction, but steer the ship there yourself. Previously, before we had this system, a senior media buyer could comfortably manage 4 to 5 client ad accounts at my agency. Now they can manage 8 to 10 high-ticket accounts at once. The last system on the service delivery side, and one I am really proud of, is the monthly reporting we sent to clients. When we were doing the reporting manually, it took around an hour and a half per client per month. So at 20 clients, that's around 30 hours of work per month just on reporting. But now we have a Claude project that does it all for us. So it automatically pulls the data from the client ad accounts using AdsVisor. It reads all the Slack history for every single client, and it reads every single Fathom transcript where that client was discussed. This means that the AI knows exactly what's going on in the account and knows exactly what was discussed both internally and face-to-face with the client. There is literally nothing anyone at my agency can add to the report that the AI doesn't already know. It then generates an extensive, nice-looking report using our brand template. It hosts it on our website, and it just returns me a public URL I can share with each client. What took the team 30 hours per month previously now takes me 30 minutes to review and send. The ninth and the final system I'll be covering in this video is the glue that holds everything together. It's not sexy, but it saves me a ton of time. It's a simple Claude project that checks for any new call transcripts in your Fathom account and adds all the to-dos from that call to Asana assigned to the relevant team members. I can now literally just jump off a call with a client and the to-dos from that call will appear in my to-do a couple minutes later. I don't have to remember or do anything to make sure that the commitments we make are actually followed up on. This matters because founder burnout isn't the work itself, it's the cognitive load of holding everything in your head. Actually, I lied. I have one more AI system that I would like to argue is the most important one in my agency. It's a Claude project that constantly stays up to date on everything that happens with every single client through call transcripts, their ad account data, and Slack chats, and acts like a chatbot. I can ask about anything that is happening in my agency. This one is so overpowered that I'm not actually sure if I should be sharing this publicly on YouTube, so I'll gatekeep the actual setup and framework for the agencies I'm a mentor for. So if you want my help one-on-one with scaling your agency by implementing these systems and everything else I've learned scaling my own agency to over $100,000 a month, check out the first link in the description. It is a 3-minute video that explains how I work one-on-one with agency owners like yourself to help them scale. If it makes sense, you can book a call with me directly on that page. On the call, I'll explain everything we did to transition to being an AI-enabled agency and scale to over $1.5 million a year with 60% margins and only 20 high-ticket clients and 10 employees.